Hello everyone, I am Kim Okaliskis and today I am going to discuss about political life, government, and organizations, which is one of the significant topic to be unraveled in this course Multi-5 Cross-Cultural Communication. Power revolves around politics. Politics without power is a man without resources. Power is defined as an authority held by a group in a society that allows for the administration of the public resources and implement policies for the society. Power may be acquired as a means of governmental direction to a government group. Political control, enabling power, sovereign power, political rights, and coercive power are the offshoots of the politics. Power is a tool required to control the society. Politics deals with power in the society in general. Government. Government is defined as the group of people with authority to govern the country or a state. Government has the responsibility for society as a whole, and this is why it is entrusted with creating public policies for the betterment of the people. Organization is any entity that is involved in political process, includes political institutions, political parties, and political groups. The term can mean an association, committee, or a party. These are involved in numerous political activities, for instance, campaign, advertisement, community organizations, etc. Aristotle called politics as the master of science because it is affiliated to our daily living in the polis or in politics. Polis is the Greek city or state where the word politics came from. Politics is a social activity. From this view, any social activity, in so much as it involves interaction between people, is bound to be political. All social institutions work together with the people most adept at performing their functions. The end of good life would be realized. Politics is also an effect of human development, having capable of reasoning that named man a political animal. As Aristotle said, man in isolation cannot survive. Therefore, human beings interact with each other on a daily basis, having a deep impact on each other's life. For example, parents may think that they have the right to intervene in their children's lives. Here are the concepts of politics. Number one is the concept of justice. It talks about what and who is morally and politically right. Justice means giving people what they deserve. Second is the concept of power, the source of authority. The concept of power refers to the capacity that a person has to influence the behavior of another person. Politics is a mechanism used by the government in order to control, influence, and implement policies and programs that are deemed important in delivering service to the people. Take note of the praise mechanism used by the government to control, influence, and implement policies and programs. This has something to do with a technique or an instrument for delivering or giving service to people. Then, this is politics. For example, in this COVID-19 pandemic, politics plays an important role like by making preventive measures and solutions to fight the crisis. Hence, the Philippine Congress passed the Republic Act No. 11469, also known as Bayanihan United Efforts to Heal as One Act, which gives the President the emergency powers to address COVID-19 crisis. By this, there is a community control by implementing community quarantine and the like. Government. It is an organization that exercises the authority to govern based on the existing legal frameworks. It is the name given to the entity that manages to governs and administers the organization, especially the state. It is necessary to the existence of the civilized society. Clearly, it is an organization that has the authority or legitimacy to govern. This is composed of the government officials or workers who were voted or appointed or applied for the position they are in and to. According to UNESCO, here are the characteristics of a good governance. Participation. The participation of the citizens in the process of the governance is the key characteristics of a good governance. Participation is an important step for mobilizing people to participate in the decision-making process. It can be direct or indirect participation needs to be informed and organized. Because as we all know, the aims and objectives of the political rights would be fulfilled by the greater participation of the people in the society. Next is the role of law. Another important characteristic of a good governance is the role of law. It needs a fair and legal framework to establish role of law in the society. Role of law ensures impartiality which helps to protect human rights, particularly who is most marginal in the society. The independent judiciary system, its impartial nature, and the incorruptible police force are the key element to ensure rule of law in the Philippines. Next is the transparency. Governance needs transparency for the fair delivery of service or services to the citizens. It ensures balance between policymakers and its enforcement following proper rules and regulations. It enables the citizens to access governmental information regarding various policies and their implementation freely. Proper media should be established for an easy understanding of this information. Responsiveness. Responsiveness has a basic necessity of the administration which can motivate the interrelationships between administration and people. It requires sufficient services to people within a specific time. Consensus oriented. Governance depends on the consensus of people in the society to make it good. It could fulfill the interest of the people as well as the community. It helped to achieve the long-term perspective of human development, and it originated from the social culture and institutional behaviors of the particular society. Effectiveness and efficacy. Ensure the outcomes of the institutions to meet the needs of the society. Proper utilizations of society's resources for establishment of sustainable development is the key to good governance. It also ensures the sustainable use of natural resources for the protections of the environment. Last is the accountability is the most important characteristics of a good governance. Good governance depends on accountable governmental as well as the private sectors and civil society organizations to their people and its institutional stakeholders. Without transparency, the role of law accountability cannot be established. Political organization, bands, a small group of foreigners that are loosely related by marriage, blood, friendship, and interest. Lack of centralized authority. Usually small, less than 100 people, varies by season. When more food is available, bands come together. With this, bands are usually referred to us as being egalitarian societies, societies which are all persons of the same age and gender are seen as equal. Next is the tribes. The tribal organizations are the distinct people dependent on their land for their livelihood who are largely self-sufficient and not integrated in the national society. With this, we sort of move up to the non-industrialized political ladder to tribes. Tribes often double in agriculture and herding, making it easier to support a larger yet still rather a small population. Next is the states, an autonomous political unit encompassing many communities within a territory and having centralized government within the power to collect taxes, draft men to work, and decree and enforce laws. Any states have two basic functions to sustain order in the society by enforcing the state law and by execution of the social sanctions. The other functions is to protect the nation against the foreign aggression. Why cross-cultural communication is important in political life, government, and organization. Cross-cultural communication is the key when it comes to political life, government, and organization, as it allows leaders to share their vision with the people and build consensus. Good cross-cultural communication also helps to avoid misunderstandings and ensures that everyone is on the same page. In the political context, cross cultural communication can be used to promote democracy, engage the citizens in the political process, and hold elected officials accountable. Effective cross cultural communication is essential for democracy because it allows the citizens to make informed decisions about who to vote for and what policies to support. It plays a vital role in promoting citizens' engagement and accountability and ensures the government officials are responsive to the needs of the people they represent. And that would be all for my presentation about political life, government, and organizations. Thank you so much for listening.